Hello, and welcome to episode 98 of Radio Free Endor. And this episode this episode is also being live streamed on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And in this episode, we'll be looking at the new episode of Ahsoka. And I can only do it with one other person, and that is my son, Chris. How you doing, Chris? How's it
Very
going?
well, thank you. What a great week to be able to actually record on time.
Yeah, it is. We've only just had it. I think it played Wednesday night. A little bit busy on Thursday. We wanted to record it on Thursday, so we're doing it today. So we got around. Our schedules came together for today, and wow, what an episode! Oh, can I just say, it was so good to have Nicholas on the last podcast. He says he does want to do it again, and I said, well, yeah, and he should be getting some headphones for Christmas. You know, what I mean, I know he doesn't listen to the episodes, but he should be getting some headphones so he'll be able to join us from his room, so we can have like 3 screens. But he will be joining us, and I think he wants to sort of kick it off with my Ghost Heads UK podcast. So look out for him on that as well. So, Chris, is there any news? Should we head over to the news?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
because
should
there is
definitely head
some,
over
isn't
to
there?
the news.
Yeah.
There
Okay.
is definitely some news and some things that have been released whilst we've been gone since last week. And I think the first thing that we can definitely speak about, and I'll share my screen for this,
Yes.
is the really cool brand new. Is that showing? You need to activate it by clicking
Oh,
the
do I?
button.
Sorry. Yeah. There we
Yeah,
go.
there we go. The
Ooh.
brand new Ventor class Republic Star Destroyer cruiser. Why did I say star? The Ventor class Republic attack cruiser. There's now officially a Lego set. This has been rumored for some time, and by gosh, if there's there's ever has been a massive Lego set that I would want, it would have
Mm-hmm.
been this one. I'm just not interested in the Millennium Falcon, the 8080, the Star Destroyer, but this is my ultimate collector's set. That yes, this is the one for me. What do you think about it?
Do you know, I thought this kit was out already. I really did. I think I've seen it on numerous, maybe like Wish and Timu and AliExpress. But I could have sworn this was out, but obviously not. But wow, what a kit! I absolutely love the look at it. I think it's brilliant. Yeah, pull that full screen. Can you pull that full screen?
No,
No, it looks amazing.
nope, can't put it full screen.
All right, okay. It's bloody big, isn't it? How many episodes? Oh, there we go.
4,225 pieces.
Looking at the price of it though, Chris, $649.99. What's that in English? I bet you it's 649 and 99 pence, isn't it?
649.99. It's £524.
Is it 524? Ooh,
Yeah. And as you see, what I found really interesting about this set is it's slightly smaller than
mhm,
the um, Star Destroyer that came before it.
mhm.
Star Destroyer
Yeah.
has now been made retired, whereas the set it was. Here we go. So when we see here, just a little, little compare, because we like to do that, to two ships about roughly the same size. You see the Star Destroyer has slightly more pieces in it, and this is my favorite part with when you're comparing both of them.
Yeah.
Is the Star Destroyer has no minifigures.
Oh no, it hasn't, has it?
Yeah,
No.
and the Venator's got two. Who's it got? You might ask. It's
Yeah.
got it's got the Admiral,
Yeah.
and it's also got Rex in it, as you can see on the little plate. It's got Rex and the Admiral, and a little plaque that says 20 years of Clone Wars.
That is amazing.
And you notice slightly less pieces, about 500 less pieces than the Imperial Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
But the Imperial Star Destroyer was a bigger ship in Star
Yeah.
Wars than the Ventor class cruiser. So
Mm. What
I
was
think
the
it's
price of the Imperial?
to be
Does it not
fair,
say?
see, this is the funny thing. It's like there's a new version of this set, and you look at it,
Hey,
it's
that's
like,
that one I was talking about. That's the
yeah,
one that I
that's not a
wanted.
new version
69
of the set.
quid.
That is tiny. That's 45. That's
Oh,
only like, yeah, that's not
oh,
big.
oh, that's the one. Because I said to you, my favorite kit is the Super Star Destroyer, wasn't it?
Yeah, they've never done a Super Star Destroyer Ultimate Collector's Edition. They've done a Star Destroyer of what we saw there.
Yeah.
If I go back, as you see, Super Star Destroyer. But I think while this one looked quite cool, I think that this one's definitely got, it's got more detail, and obviously our Star Destroyer is all grey when, these are got a
Yeah.
bit of red. It's got
Bit of
the
red. Yeah.
opening bay at top. And obviously they're two very different Lego sets, but I'm really, really excited. I will be looking to pick this up for myself near Christmas time.
Yeah.
And I'm very much excited to see this. It's currently, there is videos out of YouTube of people holding the boxes. A
Already.
lot of Lego channels, Lego have gave them the set
Yeah.
to review, but they cannot open the box. Embargoes, there's still an embargo over opening it. So until the embargo is up, we can just look at the
Yeah.
photos on lego.com.
Yeah.
Even the build instructions are not up yet, but
Oh,
take a
man.
look at that. And I think this is going to be a really, really cool set
It is. It's
to get.
beautiful. Yeah. It's really nice. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this was the only last thing that I can say that I did find a little bit funny was if I go back to the Star Destroyer, and this is for all the sequel fans out there. My favorite is that when they say like what's more serious, the prequel films or the sequel films. Well, Lego have found out themselves that the sequel films are for 16 plus, when the prequel stuff that's for 18.
Ah, that's weird. That's weird. That's what for Lego?
Yep. It says
Right.
that this one's 18 plus, and it said that the Star Destroyer was for 16 plus.
That's
I guess them
bizarre.
2 years of maturity really help
It is.
build
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
Was
Could you
very, very
just
exciting.
could you just go back to where you saw the selection of other Legos? Because
There's
there's one
also
out.
the Ghost. That's new, I believe.
Is it the Ghost?
Mm,
See that one there, the Christmas one. See the Christmas one. I just wanted to point that one out. Now I've just got this for my birthday, which was 2 days ago, and I can't wait to open it. This kit comes with a Palpatine in a Christmas jumper. It's also got like a Christmas pit droid. It's got Omega, and it's got Princess Leia and clone trooper and a Christmas Ewok. And of course, I always like these little kits because they're like miniature little things. You got his chair, you see the little Endor bunker, and I think Endor is a theme in this one because you got a
Endor,
glider, yeah,
N1 Star Glider,
yeah,
You
and
got
you got
a
it, yeah,
very small Star Destroyer. The
yeah,
thing is, I actually got one of these last year. For all of time, me and Holly have always got chocolate ones, and last year I got a Lego one, she got a candle one, and we just didn't open it. Like, we just didn't open it every day. It was like too much of a chore. It's like burning a candle every day and making a Lego thing was just too much.
yeah,
And it ended up just like me taking all the little bags out and them now sitting somewhere. I can't
Yeah.
remember where, but
I
if
love
you have time
the little
to build
gonk
them,
droid. Yeah, I like the
yeah.
little gonk droid as well. Looks like a reindeer. But yeah, I've got this set. My Nikki bought me it for my birthday, and I can't wait to open it up. That's the truth. I'm one of those people that I think, do you know, I could just do with just building it in one go. Do you know what I mean? Now, yeah, this kit. This is up my price range. This ghost, what was it $159? Yeah, I that's my price range for that model. I think the only other model of the ghost I've got is this little die cast one I got
Mm.
from somewhere. I can't even remember where I got it from now.
Well, there's an interesting thing about this is if you notice this here, you see this little person here,
Yeah.
Jason. Well, this is an interesting one because in the TV show he has green hair,
Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah.
but in the Lego figure he's got brown hair.
Perhaps they haven't got a green hairstyle, but
Or he was
how big?
meant to be brown and they CGI dyed it.
Probably. How big is the Phantom on the Ghost? It's massive.
Yeah, to be fair. It's quite cool
Yes,
that it separates and
it is. Yeah, it's a good kit. I think if I was going to buy one, it'd be that one, and it's reasonably priced as well, 150 quid, isn't it?
yeah, I fully expect the Ghost will be. I won't buy this kit for one reason, and
Mm,
only one reason at all, is we had a Razor Quest and then they did an Ultimate Razor Quest, if
mm.
I remember rightly. I swear they've done 2 Razor Quests.
Yeah, they have the ultimate one as well. Now I
And
know. Oh, go on.
I would look for an Ultimate Razor Quest.
I do know that you can buy the instructions for the ultimate Ghost from I think it's Brickworks. You buy the instructions, and they also give you the list of parts so you can
Mhm.
build it yourself. And I think the instructions are like 50 quid. And there is a YouTube video out, I think, about it, and it is so impressive. Oh, that's good. Holiday
That's coming
diorama.
October the 1st.
Oh, we've sat at that table.
Yeah, it's also got Finn and Ray.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
I think I think this is new as well. Quite new as well.
Oh yeah.
Coruscant Guard gunship.
I like the gunships. I do. I like the noise they make. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's
It's
quite
cool.
cool. There's a few really cool Lego sets. There's
Cool.
also Yavin 4 now. If you've
Yeah.
not seen that, that's a really cool one as well when the page
Does
loads.
that come with a Y wing? Oh yeah, a Y wing.
Mm.
Yeah. So that is from A New Hope. It's a New Hope set. Not yeah. Oh, that's the ceremony. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool. Now that is cool then. If it's the ceremony. I like that. This yeah. There's yeah. Some nice sets there. Some nice sets there. Yeah.
Yeah, it just gets me that all the photos of like kids playing this. What kid wants to play with Yavin 4?
Yeah. They should just put adults in these.
It's
I
all
mean,
50-year-olds that want to play with Yavin 4
yeah.
these days.
Hold on. Is there well for saying that though, it's an adult that's building that Republic commando ship, isn't it? It's not a kid. It's an
Well, I'm no
adult.
longer a kid.
Yeah, I mean in the video. In the video to show it, it's an adult building it, not a
There's also
child.
this one from these are also from Ahsoka as well. You have Shin Hati Starfighter and E-Wing
Oh,
as well.
can you view it? Can you have a look at that R2? It's a really good clear picture of that R2. Because it should be the Kenner one, not the box, not the. So that'd be a whole new print on that R2 unit.
Mm,
It'd be the Palatoy R2.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could be quite tempted for that one as well.
Yeah, it's
Actually,
interesting that they've combined two Ahsoka ships and just stick them in one set.
for 110
Um,
quid. Yeah, yeah. You imagine it because it's a lot of money just for one. A lot of money for one.
oh no,
Oh,
I would
there's
expect them to just
oh
been like
there's that
50 and
there's a picture. Go up, Chris. Go there. See, down. See the picture of the characters there. Can you zoom in on that one? Yes, it's it's a new It's a whole new design. Oh, I like them. For the simple fact is you're getting the new characters from the series on in this set. So you've got Lord Baron, Shin, Esbeth, and of course the Elspeth, yeah, and of course the new art. Yeah, that'd be worth getting just for those minifigures. Because a lot of these collectors, they're not bothered about the ships; it's the minifigures. Because some of these minifigures are only available in these kind of sets.
Yeah, it's like this one. It's $20, but you get access to some Ahsoka
Yeah,
clone
yeah.
troopers.
Now I would buy that for the simple fact to get the get a couple of them. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And they're starting to
hilarious.
do that. There's a couple more kits like that where
Yeah, the Clone 20 kits.
yeah, where there's no end of like stormtroopers and clones. Yeah, it's good kit.
And this is
Yeah.
the final one that's been introduced with Ahsoka. Is the T6 Jedi
So
Shuttle
so this one you get Huye. Is it Huye?
Huyang
Hu Yang, and you get that other Jedi. What's his name? The
Marok.
Ghost Jedi, Marok. Yes. So people will be buying that set because if you look on Facebook Marketplace, sometimes they sell these ships and it says no action figure, no minifigures.
People took them out, yeah.
Yeah, because they just want the minifigures, not the ships.
Mm.
There should be they should be able to just sell you the minifigures. You know what I mean? As separate, like a
What
tenner
I
a
quite
piece.
like about this set is that the wing actually spins 360.
Mm,
So I thought
yeah,
that was pretty cool for Lego
yeah,
to
it is.
achieve.
You like that on that Mandalorian ship as well. That had
Mm.
that sort of look, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty
so
cool.
that's really all the new Lego sets that
Mm.
I think will be coming out between here and Christmas. To be fair, did you ever see this Chewbacca? I think this
It's
one's new as
awful,
well.
horrid. It is absolutely a horrid kit. It's vile. I don't know for
Oh, there
two
you go.
hundred
That's someone
dollars.
like your age.
No, no, it's horrible. Whoever came up with that and gone, yeah, that's it. It's horrid. Yeah, for $200, I could spend it on something else, mate. It's absolutely horrible.
What?
Horrible.
Like one of these?
Oh god. Yeah, they're even bad. They're worse. They're like mech suits, aren't they? Really, that's what they are. Mech suits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think that's really um everything new that has came out
Mm.
recently.
There's a Jedi kit from the new children's TV series as well.
Oh, is
Um,
there?
yeah, if you go slightly, scroll it up, go up, down. Sorry, down. Scroll down. Then there it is. No, scroll down. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. There it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's from the new series. So you're able to get those characters from. Is it what's it called? Is it Jedi Temple? What's it called?
Young Jedi Adventures.
Young Jedi Adventures. Yeah. So you'd be able to get those minifigures for that as well.
Yeah, quite interesting. Here's something for you, Final. Is this helmet? I don't think this helmet is available in the UK as well. Because we're currently
It,
looking at the US store.
that was at Star Wars Celebrations. I'm sure it
Was
was
it?
at Star Wars Celebrations. Yeah, but
Because
I've
when I
not
was
seen it in
going
the
through
shops.
Target a few weeks ago, one of these helmets said Target exclusive. I think it was the Princess Leia one.
Hmm.
But maybe I missed something. But yeah, they're pretty cool if that's what you're into as well. So that's
Hmm.
really all the new Lego sets. And then the next piece of news is that Ahsoka volumes on Fanta Tracks by Mark Newbold. Ahsoka Volume 1, Part 1 to 4 original soundtrack is now available on Amazon, Spotify, and Apple Music.
I've got it.
And
I've
it's
already
2 hours and 23 minutes long.
Yeah.
Over 46 tracks.
It is. Let me just. Oh, you've got the list in there. Yeah. The cover looks really, really good. Of it. Let me see if I can. It's probably online there actually.
It's here.
Yeah, the cover. It is proper cool. Let me see if I can. It is. Where did I put it?
It literally looks like this.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's proper cool. Because I always, once I bought it and saved it, I always put it onto my hard drive. There it is.
Yeah, and I think that's really like all the main news. Apart from Hasbro have revealed also a new, 2 new vintage sets from Obi-Wan, a new vintage box that includes 2.
Yeah, sorry. That's the that's the cover that came with me purchase, and I've already been listening to it. It's really, really good. Yeah. So yeah, carry on.
Oh, yeah, we go back to
There we go.
so
Whoa.
yeah, so Hasbro has released this new Star Wars vintage duo set. I tend to like these. I get them for Dad whenever I see them. They've got great figures in. And it's interesting that they called it Obi-Wan Kenobi Showdown, Darth Vader Showdown. And to be fair, you know, I'm never a fan of these, but you know, if they're your style, the retro toys, then you know, I think there's some cool parts to them. Especially the Vader one. You know, if any of them, I think the Vader helmet one's very cool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
Helmet comes off.
Just a quick shout out. Hello, Royal Farm Boy. Is good day, fella. Good evening, fellas. Be careful this round. yeah, we will be. Yeah, I know exactly what he's on about. Yep, we'll do. Yeah. This set looks really, really good. I'm quite tempted for it, Chris. Is there a retro version of it as well?
What's the difference between vintage and retro?
Retro is, do you know the ones that I collect? They look like the old 1970s figures.
Don't they?
Yeah.
There you go.
No, those don't look like 1970s figures. So let me see if I got one. They're all on my wall, actually.
And the very final bit of news that I think is really, really cool of things, I did see it on Fantrax as well a minute ago. I just put it up, was this. So if you're into your hot toys on your sideshow, this looks really, really cool.
Oh God.
For $271, you can get a Sabine Wren 6 scale figure.
Wow. Look at that detail.
To be fair, when we was at Star Wars Celebrations, I got to see some of these hot toys for the first time in person, and the detail on some of them, like they are so good at what they do. And you notice it's also got a loaf cap, a stand. It's got a hologram of Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt?
Yeah.
Do you mean Ezra?
Yeah, Jabba the Hutt. Oh, that's his. Yeah, look, it's really cool. You got this stand. She's got the lightsaber. She's got a pistol.
Does that apple not come with it?
No.
Huh. God, that's like real fabric as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, looks
Except
amazing.
for eyeball rolling.
Yeah. I bet very expensive.
$259.
You know, I have to say, when I'm sitting down watching TV, we've got our Alexa just sitting there and it plays photos from my wife's phone. And every now and again comes up, oh, that's a nice one. I like that one.
Yeah, this was the one that they released before for 20 years of Clone Wars.
All right. That is a good one. And one of the photos, Chris, is that that porcelain statue of Ahsoka. Do you remember that? And I think that is stunning to look at. Oh, I'm surprised you've not bought that.
I've never been into collecting hot toys. Maybe in the future, but
yeah,
they're all really, really cool, really, really detailed. And yeah, that's came out. Pre-ordering now, arriving July to December 2024. That's almost half a year away as well. Almost over a year if it's July.
Yeah.
For $271. A
Mhm.
really, really cool set for sure. Is there
Magic.
any other news that you have came across that is not only on contracts?
No, to be fair. Oh, I just want to say thank you to to Jessica, Jessica for my hoodie with these classic R2D2s. See them? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I says I would wear it for this podcast. Yeah. So, Chris, with that, should we head over to our review of Ahsoka, season part 5? Yeah.
Of course. But
Okay.
there was just 2 bits of news in everyone's favorite segment. Speaking
Oh.
about the Disney parks, forgot
All
about
right.
this.
Yeah.
There is 2 pieces to share. So we'll share my screen again. We'll just back them up. We'll take Fantasy Tracks as the source if you want to share.
Mm-hmm.
So if you
Hold on
didn't
a
know,
second.
in Star Wars Celebrations, there was a Disney Parks panel where they announced that really the only thing they announced, apart from the Mandalorian and a few of the characters turning up at Galaxy's Edge,
Yeah.
they announced that there was more scenes and adventures coming to Star Tours in the parks.
Ooh.
And they did not say when. They said that more scenes were added, but there's going to be more scenes added from a TV show yet to be shown. I.e., obviously, the news has now came out that the show is going to have Ahsoka scenes on.
Yes.
So I think that will be really, really exciting. I wonder what planets they will use. I bet it will be the planet that they were on in this episode. Maybe the planet they were on this episode, Low Fall, or where Han Solo is from. The planet's called, I can't think of it off the top of my head. But it'll be really easy to see and exciting to see which ones they add to it. Corellia, that's it. Could be
Yeah.
Corellia.
Corellia. Yeah.
Could be Low Fall, or it could be where they were on this episode. I literally can't remember what the planet is called. Cetos? Cetos. Yeah, Cetos, that's it.
All right.
So it'd be really cool to see these planets on all of our favorite adventures in the parks. And then the real big final news that I wouldn't take much to around currently is them replacing Dinosaur at Animal Kingdom with
can I just pause you there, Chris, a
Of
second?
course.
Right. Did you hear that?
No.
Right. Let me just. You probably won't hear it then. I'm just going to pause your screen while I just share one of mine. While you were talking about that Disney park. So this, I've watched this come up. Yeah. So let me just pop this one on. So this is General
Syndulla
what's her name?
arriving at Galaxy's Edge
Syndulla.
with Chopper.
Yeah. So she's coming in, got all the makeup, and Chopper's running in, and of course, she interacts with the public. So it's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. I think it's great that they're actually putting more characters on the streets of Galaxy's Edge. Finally, more interaction. I think is really, really cool. I'd be excited to meet more characters because I've only ever met Rey. So this is the other thing was in D23 Disney's fan event, they announced that they were planning on replacing Dinosaur at Walt Disney World with a new Indiana Jones ride, and as well as extending the area with Encanto and a retheme to the restaurant. And this is really interesting because what I hear is the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland, California is one of the best rides there. And it uses completely the same ride system as Dinosaur. So it could be quite as easy as adapting the same ride vehicles and props to be
Yeah.
used in Florida,
Hmm.
or could be complete retheme. But obviously, Disney has said we're planning it. They've not actually announced anything happening yet, and it will then take a long time for them to get started. And if it took them 5 years to build a ride that was a clone from a park already, this could be 10 years away. We won't know until they actually buckle up and see if they build something Indiana Jones. Harrison Ford might still be alive to open it.
Mm. Groovy. Yeah. I think what we're going to be doing is we're looking at the moment into booking to go to Florida in 2025 at Christmas time 2025. So we'll be having literally Christmas and then we'll be going to Florida for the new year. So that's what we're sort of looking into at the moment. Um, but in that way, 2025, some things will be open. Yeah, like the
You
Epic,
said that.
the new Epic place.
Yeah,
You
they
come
will
in,
be
Chris.
open.
You
They will
come in,
be
Chris.
open, but
Yeah.
nothing in Disney World will have changed. In
Mm,
3 years, they might have added a few more trees and paths, but
mm,
apart from that, no. I
mm,
when they announced like these plans and that, I just kind of looked at it and went, yeah, but you promised all these things like 3 years ago, and you did none of them.
mhm.
And like, I'm just very closed out, very conscious that Disney will put out all these sketches to please fans, but never actually like just, wouldn't it be great if they started building something and then went, this is what we're building, and everyone went, great, tell us when it's done, instead of going, so we have these plans to, we let our Imagineers go crazy, dream big, and these are the sketches that they came up with. We're working on the steps of making them a reality. What does that mean? Like someone's drawn some art and now you're showing us? Anyone can
Yeah.
draw art, you know? Put it to reality. Get it in there by 2025. That will make you happy.
Yes, it would be. Do you know? There was one more bit of news. Yes, here it is. Right. I'm just gonna share the screen right now. Here we go. Yes, so this was on Dark Horizons, and it's the Lando series becomes a film. Right? Who would have thought? So, much like Marvel Studios opted to retool the Don Cheadle led Armor Wars from a series into a movie, the same looks to be happening over at Lucasfilm. The studios reportedly confirmed to Variety that Lando, the planned TV series starring Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian, is being turned into a movie instead. The project was first announced as a series in late 2020 as part of the Disney Investors Day and followed in the wake of the Glover playing a younger version of Billy D. Williams' original Star Wars trilogy character in the 2018 spin off Solo, a Star Wars story. At the time, Dear White People creator Justin Simeon, I think, was attached. However, reports in July this year indicated that the Haunted Mansion Helmer has been off the project for some time. So it looks like that Donald Glover and his brother Stephen Glover have taken over the writing duties of a new take that has excited Lucasfilm. The pair are thought to have signed on well before the WGA strike and haven't performed any work on it since. Now, Stephen Glover himself dropped the news of Lando having become a film during a recent appearance on the Pablo Toro Finds Out podcast. He said, it's not even a show. The idea right now is to do a movie right now because of the strike. It's kinds of like telephone all of the information. Right. So, what do you reckon to that news that Lando is going to become a movie? Me, Chris, nah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen? Well, I'd rather it happen as a movie.
Mm,
If it
yeah.
was going to happen, And due to Star Wars track record at this point, well, I think it has best possibilities of being a diamond in a rough by being a movie rather than a
Mm,
TV show. So
yeah.
I'll be excited to see it. We'll definitely see.
Depends when they talk, get through all the strikes, of course. Through the strikes. Yeah. Is that it? Are we all done?
Yep, that's it.
That's it. Right then, let's get over to the series Ahsoka. So, this is part 5, Shadow Warrior. It was written by Dave Filoni and directed by Dave Filoni, and it aired September the 12th, 2023. Right. Chris, where do we go? I was so excited to watch this. I know it had a screening in London and in various places in the States. I was gutted that it was only in London. If it was up here on the north, I probably would have gone and seen it. But it weren't. It figures. But my I personally thought my mouth was just like, what is this? Could this possibly be the best Star Wars we've seen in a long, long time? Oh, you know what I mean? I know we briefly talked about it, but Chris, yeah, I'll hand it to you because you're the biggest clone, the clone fan between us. I mean, go on.
Well, I thought this episode was really good. I think it was really it's very much like the fan service that a lot of people was looking for is in okay, I've watched tons of kids TV shows at different times, and a lot of them pieces have always been left that really came together in this moment of you
Mhm.
know um the scene on Ryloth, the scene on Mandalore, the world between worlds, Jason, and
Yeah,
Chopper and Hera and it all of and the Purgil, all of it came together in this episode and really like went from strength to strength and had some amazing scenes. And I think like my first one of the great moments in this episode was obviously straight away with Hu Yang holding Sabine's helmet saying, you know, I told them to stay together. They do
mm,
best when they stay together. It's almost like this droid has emotion.
yes, yes, it does. Um, I was like, it was the way he was holding that helmet and looking over it. Oh, do you know what I mean? I was kind of filling up for him. Like, yeah, because I like this droid. I really like this droid. He's as soon as they bring this one out as a Black Series, I'm getting him. I'm getting him. Which I think they are bringing out as a Black Series figure, but I'm getting that one. Yeah, his emotion and the way he talked. I wish I could just play it. I wish I could play it, but we'll get a copyright strike for it. But it was very emotional. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
you don't need to play it. People
yeah,
can watch the episode themselves on Disney Plus.
mm,
And if you listen to this on a podcast, there is nothing you can play.
mm, yeah. Well, on a podcast, I can actually stick the audio in every now and again, which I often do. But yeah, that was really really good. And then of course you've got the you got uh, General uh, Sadula Sadula.
Yes,
Yeah,
Syndulla, Hera
and her
Syndulla.
son, yeah, and son Jason, and they come out. Well, he says, "Is it safe, Mom? Is it
Mm.
safe?" Because she's looking around and she finds the orb, but it's been smashed. What I liked about it, Chris, is when you looked at the orb, you could see it was all clockwork inside it. Know what I
Mm.
mean?
Yeah, no, I thought
So
that was really, really cool.
yeah,
And I think one of the really cool things about all this introduction area and what they're building to, because what you tend to see is like it's cutting between the rescue efforts to find Ahsoka, done by the X-wing fighters and Carson Tecker and his team and Hera looking for Ahsoka or any signs that she survived or where she is. And I think the really exciting part of this, if I ask if we spoke about like what was my favorite moment, I think it was when there's so much in the episode, but one of my favorite moments for sure was when Jason really could show his own, and that moment just got me because Carlton Teco has already like gone along this plan, and he's like, "What is this kid doing? He's force sensitive, and he has a Jedi for it. His dad was a Jedi." And it's like, "Oh, okay, another one." Yeah, obviously, it happens between the scenes, but this is where Jason's listening to the ocean and listening to the fight between Ahsoka and Anakin's Skywalker's force.
So my Nikki, of course, she's not watched any of the Clone Wars or the Rebels, and so she said, "Who's that kid?" Because, and I said, "Well, he's Jason's Kanan's son, and General Sadula's son as well." And she was like, "Why is he not got green skin? How come he hasn't got those trendles on?" I says, "Well, I don't know."
He's human.
He's human, yeah. So I don't know, but I said, but he is a Jedi. He's got his connection to the Force from his dad.
Well, he's not a Jedi.
No,
he
he's
has
not, but
Force abilities.
Force abilities, yes. And that scene, Chris, you're talking about where Chopper and him are just sitting there looking out, and he turns around and he says, "Mom," and she's like, just in a minute. You know what I mean? He's going, "Mom," you know what I mean? And she's like, "In a minute." She's totally like just ignoring him until he goes, "It's the sea. There's something strange about the sea." And then, of course, she walks over, and of course, you got Carson going, what we doing here? I mean, what we going to do? So, he tells her to calm herself and listen. And she says, "What am I listening for?" And he says, "Lightsabers." You can hear lightsabers smashing. And what I did like, and because I rewatched it, do you know as they showed you footage of the water hitting the rocks, Chris? Yeah. Every time the water hit the rocks, it was like it was like hitting the lightsaber. It was really well timed. So I thought that was really, really good. I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." You know what I mean? And Chopper was, Chopper's so animated as a proper droid. I like, just like him.
Yeah, that was personally like one of them moments that was like no, this is like, it's not a payoff because people have children, but it's like one of them things of like the force is all around us, and even Hera could hear it, when she focused, and anybody can listen if they're in tune with the force. And I think that was just a really great moment. Yeah, I definitely think Hera heard them too, because in the very final episode of Rebels, you see Ghost Kanan touching Hera, and I believe like Hera's got her hand on him, so I'm pretty sure she can feel the presence of the Force in some respect.
In some way, yeah, that she's force sensitive. Now, I'm a total believer when she's such a good pilot. She is an excellent pilot, as well as Han Solo. So I'm in the camp that even though they're not Jedi, I think they might say, "Oh, we don't believe in it," blah blah blah. But I think they're using some kind of version of the Force. You know what I mean? That's why they're so lucky. That's why they sort of can miss being hit, if you know what I mean. Now Han Solo says, you know what I mean, we survive everything, doesn't he? Apart from when he meets his own son. But I think they are tapping in to that force thing. You know what I mean? To the force themselves. Yeah. So Raw Farm Boy. Yeah. They look on and look on her face when she turns to Carlson and tells him she heard it. She heard it. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one, Chris, as well. Yeah, she's using the force
Obviously,
ability. Yeah.
there's so much more that happens in the episode, and that's why I'm kind of like jiggling around
Yeah.
what's happening, and also obviously the whole search and why they're searching for Ahsoka. Coulson and Tekka's character is like, we only have a certain amount of time. Like problems are gonna start turning up,
Fuel.
and
They mentioned
fuel.
about fuel as well.
Um,
Reserves.
but I really liked this moment where Coulson said, "We've got Princess." Didn't say Princess. We've got Senator Organa running interference for you, as in Senator Organa would be Princess Leia.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really nice touch as well to it. And then following that, as they're doing their search, I think that when the Mon Mothma says like it's too late, they're coming to get you. I think this is a really interesting moment, and obviously we're skirting around the episode,
Mm.
talking about what's happening in the real world. I think this is a really good point in that, like I said to you, like people always like you say yourself, like the first order just like how did it happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how did it happen?
Yeah.
But like just what we've seen from the Mandalorian and the New Republic so far, it's quite easy. It starts to be quite easy how this is starting to form, and this uh, misguidance of
Mm.
peace and prosperity. And it's almost like how I view the New Republic is they're too kind and they can't just say no, that's
Mm.
bad. Like nothing, no. The Empire was bad. This is not bad. It's like no, this is really bad in this moment as well. And we'll obviously get to all of that in a sec,
Yeah.
with what happened in the World Between Worlds. But yeah, I just thought all the scenes with Coulson and Tekka were really, really cool. And the
Mm.
one thing that I can say about him is in this episode, or I think it was the episode before, Disney finally gave him a poster for
Yeah, they
Ahsoka.
did. Yeah.
And he was in exactly the same pose than the
For
Obi-Wan
his
series.
for his poster in The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian season
Yeah,
3.
it is. It's the same image. It
It's
is
the
the
same
same
as
image.
that they've just like changed the
Yeah.
background. It's like a quick Photoshop template. Doop,
Yeah.
move
Well, you know,
across.
Disney did say that once you've given them your digital creation, they're just gonna cut and paste. They did say that, didn't they? Yeah. So
Yeah, and yeah, go on.
let's whip back now to when Ahsoka wakes up. Yeah.
She
And she
wakes up
finds
where?
wakes up in the world between worlds.
Are we even sure it's the World Between Worlds?
Now, this is a thing that we could talk forever about what the concept of the world between worlds is, because I've listened to Rebel Force Radio, and they played a clip from Dave Filoni where he was saying that when Ezra was in the cave getting his
Mhm.
crystal, he was actually in the world between worlds then. And then there was another bit where you were talking to Yoda. Well, he was in the world between worlds then, but he didn't know it. He thought
But
he was in the
also
real world.
when he was discussing with Yoda, Yoda was alive
Yeah, that's
in
right.
the
Yeah.
timeline. So Yoda was talking through the World Between Worlds as someone who was alive. When
Mm.
obviously what we're seeing right now, I think there's a lot of questions and perspectives of what this is and we're seeing. And this is how
Could
I would explain it in my headcanon.
yeah.
Is in Ahsoka fell into the water and died just like Obi-Wan, and disappeared. Boop, left the planet,
Yeah.
dropped into the world between worlds, the Force, the gateway to becoming one with the Force.
Wouldn't she wake up
Where,
naked?
no, of course not.
Well, when Obi-Wan disappeared, his clothes and his lightsaber were there.
Well, Ahsoka's got much. Ahsoka's got powers beyond
Yeah.
your imagination.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's go with that. Yeah.
Or my favorite quote of Han Solo: "That's not how the Force works."
That's not how the Force works. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Carry on. Yeah.
Is that boop? She disappears, so everyone on the planet can't find her because she's not there,
Mm.
and she then manifests in the Force, in the world between worlds, where she sees a guiding light, who is Anakin Skywalker, who is one with the Force. It is Anakin Skywalker, but he is the Force because, as Jedi's talk about, becoming one with the Force means the Force is you. Like some people were saying, is it just the Force manifesting as Anakin Skywalker, or is it Anakin Skywalker, or is it Ghost Anakin Skywalker? It's like
Mm.
it's both. He is the Force, and he is Anakin Skywalker because Anakin Skywalker joined the Force. So it's representate. So Ahsoka's representation of the Force is Anakin,
Mm.
and what I thought was really interesting about this, and we saw a lot. We can really dig into the scenes and discuss them, but sorry, I think the biggest thing was the reason she was there was for Anakin to teach her one last lesson,
Mm.
you know? And
Yeah. And she
what
did not get it, did she? And that's what
what
they had
was
through
that
the
lesson?
episode. She wasn't learning it um, until literally we're speeding ahead. You know, when she says, with the legacy of training. And you said it yourself today when we were talking about it. Anakin, Yoda trained Count
You're from a
Dooku.
line of irregular Jedi.
Yeah,
You want me to say it?
yeah, go on.
Yoda trained Count Dooku. Count
Mm.
Dooku trained Qui-Gon Jinn. Qui-Gon Jinn trained Ben Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi trained Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker trained Ahsoka.
Ahsoka, yeah. And they were all independent thinkers, you could say. They all had they saw the situations, especially with those episodes of Tales of the Jedi. You really did understand what Count Dooku was thinking, like, and like
No, no,
Quingon.
not just Tales of the Jedi. In
Mm,
episode 2, when he captures Obi-Wan, he
mm.
says, "There is a bigger threat out there that you know. I will release you right now if you help me defeat it." He sets the plan straight up.
It does. It tells him everything, and he goes, "Huh, yeah, I don't believe you." Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it tells you. Yeah,
undiagnosis. So,
it does.
like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Count Dooku, yes, became bad, but as you see from even Tales
And
of the Jedi,
portrayed, and
it's
he got
because,
betrayed, didn't he?
yeah, it's because the Jedi are fundamentally flawed in attachment.
Hmm.
And I think that, when we're talking about this lesson, that, how I interpreted the lesson was when I first watched it, I was like, I didn't get what the lesson was. It's quite easy for you to take her very final words of, I choose to live. Like that is that the lesson that she's chose not to die, to live?
Mm.
But that's not how I interpreted it. Like I interpreted it that um Anakin, they have a battle and Anakin starts showing her that like she is better than him in many
Mm.
ways. But she like he's more than her. Like you're more than that. And Anakin trained a child to be a soldier and to kill. Anakin was trained to be a soldier and kill when he was a child, and he was training Ahsoka when he was 19,
Mm.
around 19 years old. So they have only both known how to be a soldier and to kill. Same with Cal Kestis. you know,
Yes.
and the legacy of Darth Vader, as Ahsoka knows what he turns into, is what taints her past into keeping her pushed away from the people she cares about most because she is scared if she trains an apprentice, they will be more powerful than her and
Mm,
more powerful than Darth Vader of Anakin, who turns into Darth Vader, causing more death and destruction. She only knows how to be taught to be a soldier, and
mm,
we go into so many different scenes where we start seeing that her compassion always shines through, and she was the compassionate one in the Clone Wars.
yeah.
And we're going to quickly scoot through them scenes in a minute, but it was that when she faced Darth Vader and Anakin, of understanding that she is not a representation of him, that is when she can let go, that she is in control of her own life and her own path. And that's where we see her choose to continue and be not shackled by the past and people that have trained her and their choices, is
Mhm.
how I would describe what I've seen and what I saw. And, this episode had some really, really cool effects. The de aging on Hayden Christensen was amazing. Hayden Christensen's ability to duel stands up still. His flair uh, was just perfect. Like, this was what I thought, yes, it doesn't top episode 3 and Return of the Sith,
Mm,
but it does come very close to having one of these really passionate and truthful, and what I think makes the best battles of sabers is
yeah.
emotion.
Yes.
The emotion that comes with it,
I have to agree. His de-aging was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I was getting chills by watching this scene and the way he acted. He's I so miss him as Anakin. You know what I mean? I always thought he was well cast as Anakin Skywalker, and even though it's 20 years later, he slipped into it like a well formed glove. Do you know what I mean?
This is
Straight into it, and
I
his
don't wanna say
lights.
this as well,
Ah, yeah.
but a lot of the people say the prequel trilogies, they suck at one thing, and that's the dialogue. And George Lucas has said himself, he
Mm,
hates writing dialogue, you know?
yeah.
Anakin had really good dialogue in this episode, and it showed. Like, it showed that he never missed a beat in terms of Anakin Skywalker. And I really like the point of, that even though both of them was trained to be a soldier and a killer,
Mm,
that they are more than that, because Ahsoka is more than that,
yes.
and
Yes.
I think that, we have to remember as well that Anakin was redeemed by Luke. Luke was able to save Anakin. And
Mm,
that's what for the first words we hear is Ahsoka saying that she wasn't going to fight him. And Anakin said, I've heard that before. I believe that's in reference to Luke, i.e., this is all past his actual life. It's not
hmm
him coming from the past, obviously, that we've seen. So I think this was so good production, and I think if this series had anything, this episode was really one of them crucial bits that pay off for them fans that do tend to watch everything and pull all the threads together,
mm, yes.
and I think that makes it the most rewarding.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was really good. Now, so she says to him at this scene where the first duel, and did you notice he did that thingy with the lightsaber around him, blah, 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 and then went straight in.
Yeah,
Um,
that's his go-to move.
that is his go-to move. Yeah. I was like, wow. And then, of course, she says, "You've learnt me everything," and he says, I've not learned you, I've not taught you everything. And he sort of slashes at the bridge that they're standing on, and she falls, doesn't she? Now she falls and she hits the ground, and then she gets up, and then what's happened here? She's no longer the adult Ahsoka. She's the young Ahsoka from the very first mission that they had the fight in. What was the planet called, Chris?
The very first, but it wasn't the very first battle, because the very first battle that Ahsoka was part of was on Christophsin.
That's this, isn't it?
No, that looks like Rylor, because there was Christopher. There was like, to me, that's more seemed like Rylor, because there were some Twi'lek that Anakin was speaking to, and there was sand on the ground. So that's why I put more to Rylor.
Right. I thought this was
Yeah.
the very first mission she started off in when
No,
she was
it's one of the ones where she first had
yeah.
leadership. What I thought was really great about this was you actually had some Mark 1 clone troopers on
God,
people actually running through sand, because well, obviously when they made episode
2, it was all CGI.
Episode 1 and episode 2, yeah, it was all CGI. No,
yeah, Clone Wars,
no, episode 2.
CGI. Episode 2,
because it happened right in the middle of episode 2 and 3. Yeah,
it did, yeah.
Start of the Clone Wars, yeah. So it was all CGI. So we never actually got to see them, Mark 1 actually in live action until today. And I thought that was really, really cool. And what we saw here as well was Anakin Skywalker looking like he does in the Clone Wars.
The Matt Lantern, was it? Matt
Lantern.
He proper he channeled the inner Matt Lantern, you could say, for his parts of this. He even did the animations stance. You know how he always stood, then he did his hands, you know what I mean? It's so good, and even put his hands behind his back the way he stood in the Clone Wars. She even says, "We're in the Clone Wars." I loved it. I loved the I know it was there is a debate about them on the sound stage. What's Royal Farm Boy said? 10th.
That was the first battle. Christophsis was after that.
Yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, well done. So he about the sound, the void, about how they're over relying on it. This worked for me with the fog highlighted. When you saw the light explosions and you could see the walkers in it. I loved it.
It's because they spent all the budget on Hayden Christensen. They couldn't actually render a full scene.
He looked fantastic though, Chris. He looked fantastic. And he tells her to you're either going to fight or die. You know what I mean? Live or die. You know what I mean? And she's like, what what she's saying is like she doesn't really her choices are getting people killed. You know what I mean? And all he does is make jokes about it, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as in like this is where I think this is really interesting, because they've obviously cast a 14, 15-year-old into this role, and well, Ahsoka was that age in the Clone Wars, and it just goes to show you, it just goes to put that realism in. No, the Jedi really did train kids to be peacekeepers, as they call them. And yeah, I just thought it was this really good moment where something that you've seen in live action, something that we've always seen in animation form, is now to real. And
so just putting in the young Ahsoka is played by Ariane Greenblatt. She portrays young Ahsoka during the Clone Wars flashbacks in The World Between Worlds. There you go. I think she played a young Gamora in.
She did as well.
Yes, in the Avengers film. Yeah. Carry on, Chris. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, Tano, obviously, Ahsoka says that she refuses to fight with him, and
Mm.
and that's when Skywalker obviously says that he's heard that before and continues. And I think this is one of the most uh, exciting shots that we get in all of cinematography in all of Star Wars. Might get taken offline. Don't want to do that. You don't want to do
Oh
that. We
yeah.
don't need it. We don't need it. We
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
need it. Is you see flickers between Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker, and that I think is a very intentional and on purpose um, motif that Ahsoka feels. Yes, she's looking at her master, someone that looked after her and had taught her, but her brain is saying, "This is who he becomes. He becomes this bad guy.
Mm.
You know, he becomes this terror." But I'm looking at my master in this Force illusion. So I think
Yeah,
that was a
that
really nice
happened in
motif
this
too.
scene, didn't it? Where this is now a different battle. Was it in
After
this one?
she refuses to fight, yeah, and he walks
Yeah.
away and says, "You will."
Yeah. I can't think what battle this is. This second one, because it's not the Battle of Mandalore, is it?
No, that's still in the first one when they are in, uh, I think like Ryloth,
Mm.
and then they go to the Battle of Mandalore. I thought that was very cool as well.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, like really, we go into it, but it's pretty much like we said about the path and the choice to continue and be
Oh,
more than
yeah.
just a warrior and a
Can
fighter.
we also give a shout out to Rex? You see Rex in this scene as well.
Yeah, you see Rex in Mark 1 armor and Mark 2 armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ryloth is the same year as Teth, but later. Yeah. So yeah, we really jump forward in the entire length of the Clone Wars.
Hmm.
Right to the end of the Clone Wars and one of the final battles. That was the Battle of Mandalore. You see some really cool more DeLoreans. You see Mark Chu, Rex. Rex actually talks to Ahsoka. Um, and I think um, the biggest thing I can say about the the scenes on Mandalore is just how young she is.
Mm.
She's if I would have called that a nitpick, but if it was very intentional, as in she intentional, like bang, that's how old she was. The the visual depiction in the cartoons made her look a little bit older, but actually, nope, she's that. She survived Order 66 at that age. I would go, fair dues, fair dues, Dave. You've told me. I get it. She was young. And yeah, no wonder she would have PTSD from all this of
Mm.
taking connections in later parts of her life.
Yes.
Yeah,
Ahsoka be 17 by the time Mandalore happens. Yep. Yeah, I totally agree. I thought she was older, but no, I agree with both of you two. Yeah, this is
it's
and
somewhere in the middle. And
yeah,
also, it's all in the force. Like,
yeah.
she could look how old she wanted to look in that scene,
I
maybe
suppose. What I also liked about this scene is that he walks up in his how he is. He's
in
the
Return of the
guide.
Sith.
He's like a guide in this, isn't he? And he turns around and goes, "This is new." You know what I mean? She says we had parted ways by this time,
But
and
he's also in his Return of the Sith costume.
yes, and we were talking about this? Didn't literally a couple of hours after this scene, didn't Order 66 kick in?
Yeah, because as soon
Yeah.
as they capture Maul, they board the Star Destroyer, and that's when everything starts going to hell. So
Yeah.
yeah, if she was 17, if she was that's her being 17, I don't think it really matters. But the
Mhm.
point is, she was young. when all this happened,
Yes.
and that's one of the true things that I think this is trying to show the audience is that a lot of this pain and suffering and direction all happened at a young age, and the person that trained her left her, obviously at a younger age, and she's became this new form of a Jedi by herself with no guidance ever
Yeah.
since, you know, the 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 fall of Mandalore and what followed. And I very much think that this is a really good scene, but it's actually the best part of the whole interaction between Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka is
Yeah.
the very final part
Mm-hmm.
when we actually see Anakin Skywalker holding obviously Darth Vader's lightsaber in red, and it pulls closer to Anakin's eyes, and you can see that his eyes are red. And then it pulls closer to Ahsoka, and then Ahsoka's eyes are red. And this is that Ahsoka being scared of becoming what her master became. Because remember, out of all of this, why did Anakin become who he became? Was in his scenario,
Mm.
it was love and compassion and
Yeah.
not wanting to lose the ones that he cared about, but was manipulated by the dark side to
Yeah.
do. And yes, obviously, his lesson is you must fight or you die, and Vader fought constantly to survive and not die, to hold on. And it was only when he found the love of his son that he could die, because he
Mm.
has nothing to fight for. He knows that
Yeah.
his son has survived and his son has redeemed him. And I think that really makes this like a full circle, is that was this Anakin teaching Ahsoka of a lesson, or was this Ahsoka just teaching, listening more to Anakin, of
Mm.
redeeming, not redeeming, but um seeing uh her demons herself, of like
Yes.
the worst case, and finding a catharsism
Yeah.
moment of, yes, this image of Anakin and his turn has happened, but it won't happen to her because she is her own. She is more than
Mm.
just Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
is Ahsoka.
I agree. I had to look for this, just to look for this image offline and back on, because have you noticed how you don't just see the bar? Usually, you see the just like the bar of light, or
Hmm.
whenever the lightsabers are reflected. But this one, it actually reflects the whole of her iris. You know what I mean? And you can see them red, because she can tap into that dark side quite easily. You know what I mean? Every now because we talked about it in the last show, how she when she thought Sabine had been killed, she definitely clocked up a dark side point there if you was role playing it. um, but but she makes a decision here, and the decision is to not cut down Anakin, but to chuck away, to turn off his lightsaber and chuck it. Like, who did that? Who did that? Luke Skywalker did that with his dad when he was told to kill his dad and become a greater Sith than his father, and he went no. Yeah, and he chucked away the lightsaber. Says, "I'm not killing my father." You know what I mean? There is good in him. You know what I mean? I thought, oh, man, the tables are you know what I mean? It's a full circle on this one. Yeah, it's good.
And yeah, and when you talk about the dark side, it's like it's only individuals that pull power from intense and darker emotions:
Mm,
fear, anger, hatred, pain, passion, aggression. It's almost like the fear to die keeps Sith alive, and that's one of the things about being a Jedi, is becoming one with the Force. It's the final step, and I
mm,
think that no matter the ins and outs, in Star Wars fans always complained about the technicalities that like Obi-Wan trained to become one with the Force, but Anakin didn't. And how come he did it? You know what I mean? Like some of these questions will never be answered. But I think what we got in this episode was a really, really good portrayal of Anakin Skywalker through memories and visions, and also a really good portrayal of why Ahsoka needs to change and become the person she was meant to be.
Yeah, yeah. Royal Farm Boy, Anakin's finished teaching her by getting her to let go of all the hurt she carried from the Clone Wars from losing him.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Yeah,
the pain. That's
yeah.
like, it doesn't quite say that in the episode, that the catharsism is letting go of that, but
Mm,
throughout it all, I think that we see that now, like Ahsoka in the Clone Wars is very different to the depiction of Ahsoka that we've gotten so far.
yeah.
But as we see, when she gets rescued, she's changed.
Mm,
She's like she was in Ahsoka, you know,
yeah. Ahsoka.
in the Clone Wars. She's just happy to spend time with and hug Jason, for example, another Jedi, because
Yeah.
before, you could say, before she would keep the emotions that if she trained Jason, Jason would turn into a worse version
Mm,
of her and Darth Vader, you know.
yeah.
And this is back to that point of
Why she couldn't train Grogu.
maybe so.
Yeah. Can I
Because this
just?
happened post Grogu meeting Luke and Grogu, remember?
Is this before that?
After.
That's right. Okay. Can I just say as well? Do you know when the training was done and she was coming back to the real world? I liked how the world between worlds started to sort of like mix in, and the stars. And you've been abroad, Christopher. You know, you've seen the how oceans reflect the stars, and out in the sea it becomes one. You sometimes you just lose yourself of which is the ocean and which is the stars, and it joins, and of course the water takes over to her, and she finds herself in the water, and then that's when they grab her and they pull her out. Did you catch who pulled her out of the water? No.
No, it was well, Lieutenant Lando, one of the ones who was in Carson Tekken's crew.
Ah, Brendan Wayne, Lieutenant Lando. Brendan Wayne. Why does that name sound familiar? Farm Boy, why does that name sound familiar? If you can, if you quickly type it, why does that sound so familiar? That Brendan Wayne. It's probably gonna tap it. Yeah, leave it to the chat to work out those things. I love this scene.
He's the one of the stunt doubles for Din.
That's it. Yeah, he's done it. Yeah, you just slightly beat him. Yeah, he was Dan Jeeran's stunt double. Yes, he's been going around to the convention signing autographs, saying him and this other guy saying we are the Mandalorian, and he was credited as Din Djarin in season 3 of the Mandalorian because well, he never took his helmet off, did he? So it was him. Yeah, well done. Yeah, both of you. Well done. Well done. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
thought
love this scene. Yeah. So
yeah,
go on.
just to go back to my theory of, so when Ahsoka woke up, she was transported back to Cetos, i.e.,
Mm,
back to what I said at the beginning. When she hit the water, she vanished like Obi-Wan and then came back. Because remember, they scoured the ocean but could not find her. And it's only that Chopper and Jason managed to coordinate where she is, because they feel it through the Force that
yes.
she's returned.
Yeah. Yeah. So good. I'm surprised he wasn't in the ship to use the Force to say she's here. This is where she is. That's what I thought they'd probably do. Now, when she wakes up, this is something that I never thought we'd see. A bold Ahsoka without all her gibbons around her head. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know how I feel with that.
No, I feel fine about it. Like Shakti never wore a headdressing.
Mm. But I
Like,
think
and
she all
Shakti
wore
was
one color, wasn't they? She was all one
no,
color.
she was red on the face and white and blue
Oh,
on the
right.
top.
But
And
it's,
she
do
just
you know,
merged
but you
as
know, her
well.
headphones, I thought they were round and went in. But according to that, no, they're just half. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you say, oh, I don't want to see again. I think it looks really good.
Actually, looking at it now froze it. Can you see these little grooves in a where her ears would be? So I'm thinking tech wise here now, Chris. Those things that she puts on that covers those sort of hearing ports and enables her to hear more clearly, if you know what I mean.
She's a beep alien. Who knows? It's
Yeah,
magic.
yeah, yeah.
Her ears, I don't know. But it's she wears a headpiece and after the headpiece is gone, and I think they blended it really well, and
They did, they
I think
did.
it was a really good sign of being reborn,
Yeah.
letting go,
Is
almost, you know,
Is
Lord of
she
the
is
Rings
she
style.
yeah, is she now Ahsoka the White? Because there was this big thing about her becoming Ahsoka the White with the staff, the cloak, and everything. But she just put on a white cloak. Can I just say quickly here with this scene that I know it's a podcast, guys, but I've just clicked on a scene where she's looking at Hu Yang and he's discussing with her, and I paused it, and I can't help but think, don't she just look like her animated version of in that scene? With the way the light is on her nose and her mouth, her contour, she looks just like how she's animated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she looks pretty good most of the time anyways, like
Yeah, to be
Ahsoka.
fair, yeah, to be fair.
Like all of these are faithful recreations of their rebels counterparts.
Mm.
Um I really enjoy I want to get this wrapped up so we don't go on for too long. But I
Yeah, because
really
I've
enjoy
got to pick up your brother.
um
Yeah,
these scenes with Ahsoka being warm, being kind, wanting to mend relationships, wanting to meet Jason and spend time with Jason. Because before she just wouldn't. She wouldn't want to make that connection. She built
mm.
a moat around her her shit, and herself. And yeah, this is one of the most interesting parts. I called this for a while that Ahsoka would travel using the Purgil, and what a great scene. And why is it such a great scene? Because Ahsoka has no clue if it's actually going to work.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought it was
no,
great.
yeah,
I thought that this whole scene was great. Ahsoka speaking to the Purgil. She's not as good as uh, Ezra. That's not her skill. That's Ezra's skill. She's just gonna try connect with the Force and all species and beings are part of that. So I
yeah.
think that this was really really cool, and um, we're finally there. So final thoughts on the episode. If I was to walk away and say, this is a bad episode, it'd be very hard to please at this point. It had all the right things, all the payoff to them fans that have watched it for a very long time. I just think it was great across the board. Obviously, there's also 3 ships that turn up. I'm sure they will be blown up by Thrawn when he returns to the galaxy.
Yeah,
And yeah, the final thing that I can say about the Purgil was last week when we was reviewing episode 3, 1, 2, and 3. You said you don't get how this map exists. Like This map is like, how do they know where they are? And it's because the Purrgil fly in lanes. They know where to go.
Mm,
The
yes.
Jedi track that, and also the Night Sisters, and wrote a map. There we go. That's
Yeah.
the canon. I'm really sure it's gonna be awesome. Episode 6. Are we gonna see Thrawn? Are we gonna see Ezra? Who do you think we're gonna see first?
Oh. I'll send you. Yeah. I think we're going to see Thrawn first. Like we were discussing this. I think it's going to be Thrawn, and then it's going to tease with Ezra at the end, the very last episode. Because how many episodes we got now left? Not that many now, is it?
3.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I don't know. See, you think we're gonna see Thrawn straight away. I have a feeling that Ahsoka will find Ezra. Thrawn will find Elsbeth.
hmm
So we should see both of them roughly at the same time. Because, and remember this, like, not to put this in any light terms, Balin and Shin are still 2 Jedis
yes,
against 1. Well, what happens if Ahsoka turns up with Ezra?
yeah,
And Ezra and Ahsoka free Sabine?
mm.
Wouldn't that be a happy reunion?
It
Don't
would be,
worry,
yeah,
Sabine. I found him. He's here. And we're here to get you free. Boom. But
yeah.
that's just one way it could go. No matter where it goes, I'm super, super excited. And I think that, yeah, just what a great episode. And I can't wait to see where it goes, honestly.
True. Same here. I tell you what, let's go now. Let's do the end of the show and then give our final thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Cool. So that just brings us to the end of the show. I say that because it's easy for me to edit when I do it. Rather than Chris. Yeah, thanks a lot for coming on again. Absolutely fantastic. I totally enjoyed this episode. Like I told you before, it was a love letter to the Clone Wars, to all his fans. Dave Filoni did it. I mean, he nailed it. He absolutely nailed it. Oh yeah, thanks to Royal Farboy. Yeah, good time, fellas. Yeah, good time. He's so good at coming on and helping us out when we get stuck. But you got to be a little bit quicker. Chris is faster. But I enjoyed it. Hayden Christensen, brilliant. I could quite easily see Chris a very short run of Hayden and that girl who's playing Ahsoka in a limited series, just doing the odd couple of missions or something, or a mini movie. Quite easily could sit there. I'll pay money, Disney. I will go and see the cinema and see that one, Disney. I love this episode. I can't wait for episode 6. And I've got my little cinema that I can put up outside, so I'm probably going to plug them in and watch these on my cinema on the big screen. Chris, your final thoughts on it?
Um, yeah, I thought it was really, really good. And Hugh Yang had a really good quote in there that I just can't remember fully, but it's something on the lines of, "You do what you're meant to do, and excel expectations, and that's why everyone loves you."
Mm,
Something like that. I can't remember
mm,
what it was completely off the top of my head. But that was another one of them amazing quotes from Hugh Yang. So, you know, how I rate this is just phenomenal that we finally got to see the craft of someone respectfully and not disrespectful for anyone else who's put hours of hours into filming and making Star Wars shows, but
mhm,
for someone to who has been on the journey of Star Wars for so long to be able to finally craft a story that he can put his name on. And yeah, like Dave Filoni has knocked out his career, and episode by episode that Dave Filoni has filmed, he's just got better and better at it. And he's just got better and better at directing and filming. And I really hope we continue to see great things from Dave.
True. Your other half is just put the girl who plays young Ahsoka also plays young Gamora. She's only 16. There you go. Bit of confirmation there. Thank you, Holly. Yeah. I have to agree with you, Chris. Dave Filoni, he's the apprentice of George Lucas. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, is he going to be able to do it?" Yes, he did it. He did it. In Dave, we believe, and it's paid off. I can't believe that. Well, I can't wait for his film. He's going to sort of charge these all up into films, isn't he? Mr. Filoni has had these stories kicking around in his imagination for years. Finally, he gets to tell us. Yeah, I'll agree. I'll totally agree with that. And I bet George Lucas is going, now that is how you do great Star Wars.
Well, George did leave, Dave did leave off the boob tube on his kid. Not that part.
Uh-huh.
You don't remember? Like, Ahsoka's first costume had a boob tube.
Oh, it was. Yes.
On
You're
a
right.
kid.
Yeah.
And Disney would probably be done for sexual harassment at this stage.
Never mind.
Not that part. Not that weird part. Keep the child soldiers though.
Anyway, thank you for joining us on Radio Free Endor. We hope you've enjoyed and immersing yourself in the galaxy far, far away with us. Stay connected with us on social media and be a part of our vibrant community. Search for @Radio Free Endor and on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and on YouTube. Hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications to stay up to date with all our latest episodes, discussions, and exciting news. And if you can share it, be absolutely brilliant. Tell your friends, get them over here, get them online. Let's have a full-on conversation, because me and Chris do want to do like one show and just have questions come in, and if you've got cameras, if you've got microphones, I'd like to get Raw Farm Boy in. Yeah, there's an invitation for you. Let's get you in and see you on screen, and let's have a discussion. Let's talk about the wars. So anyway, if you want to dive deeper into Star Wars with us, send your thoughts, comments, and questions to radiofreeendor@gmail.com. Don't forget, you can follow me, Jamie_R_Burns on Twitter, and Chris.
Burned Chris.
That's right, Burned Chris. We'd love to hear from you and have a fantastic galactic chat. For all your super fans out there, head over to TeePublic and get your hands on an official Radio Free Endor merchandise. Whether it's t-shirt, hoodies, stickers, mugs, key rings, or mouse mats, we've got you covered. Show off your love for this show and look ultra cool while doing it. And if you ask nicely, we can do some kind of special designs for you. That's for sure. Remember, iTunes is still the place to go to download our show. So make sure you leave us a 5-star review. Your support means the galaxy to us and helps us reach more listeners who are hungry for more Star Wars content, should I say. Once again, thank you for tuning in to Radio Free Endor. May the Force be with you, and we look forward to bringing you more thrilling adventures from a galaxy far, far away. So that just leaves. Oh, go on, Chris. Go on then, Chris. Yeah.
Thank God Obi-Wan did the chopping, because live action Anakin Skywalker is truly scarier than Darth Vader.
Yeah. He's got the moves.
And he would have been a lot more dangerous.
That's very true. That's true. Anyway, so it just says a goodbye from me. Goodbye.
And bye from me.
And Chris. Yeah. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for everyone joining us. And we'll see you next week. And you should be able to get this podcast very, very soon. I'll be posting our last one because it's such a mammoth one. I'm going to be posting that real soon as soon as I finish it, editing it. And then I'll be posting this one pretty soon after that one. So keep listening, and we'll see you next Friday, say Chris. Yeah, next Thursday, Friday for the next episode.
Perfect.
All right, brilliant. So goodbye. Take care, pleasant dreams, and may the Force be with you.
Always.
Bye bye.